As I was walking towards the ambassador of the United Federation of Earth's office, anger was all that was on my mind. These damn apes were pulling another one of their dumb stunts, and I was here to stop them. Targanius was a star system on the border of both the UFE's territory and that of the Gartin hosts. It contained many valuables, several worlds with plenty of rare metals needed for the construction of starships. On top of that, Targanius 4 would make for an excellent colony. However, the UFE and their hubris had decided to claim this system for themselves. This would not stand. The hosts were the most influential power in the whole galaxy. No one opposed them. And so there I was, about to either threaten the UFE's ambassador into giving us the system, or declare war outright. When he had finally reached the ambassador's office, he stormed inside, not even looking. The human ambassador, a man called Felix Smith, sat in his chair, calmly examining a holopad. He looked up. "I didn't know you were coming. What can I do for you?" A smile appeared on his face. I would have none of it. I looked the ambassador in the eyes. Weak, pathetic humans, I muttered to myself. "Ambassador, it has come to my attention that you have occupied the Targanius system, a system we have claimed," I loudly declared. If my intel was correct, they don't know that we have been mobilizing at their border. They will have no chance to say no to our demands, unless, of course, they want to die. The ambassador looked at me. "We claimed it first, as is clearly described in the agreement of the 7 moons signed in 2187, he declared. Wrong. That was what he was. I wasn't here to convince him. I was here to deliver a declaration of war. I spoke up again. "As I was saying, this violates common galactic treaties about rights of nations in space. As such, the Guardian host has seen it fit to declare war upon you." The ambassador laughed. "With all due respect, ambassador, that would be ridiculous. I am sure we can use diplomacy and discuss this matter with civilized beings," he said smugly. The sheer arrogance of that man! I should crack his skull for that. The humans had no fleet, no army, no military force, which could compare to that of the host. "I don't think you understand the situation, ambassador, so I will explain it to you," I said. I took a step forwards. The Guardian host currently fields the largest fleet and greatest army of all time. We're the apex of the galaxy, conquerors of 1,000 nations. Surrender or be crushed, I proudly and boldly proclaimed. The human ambassador got out of his chair. "Really now?" he asked, a mischievous smile forming on his face. "I'm debating you on the fact that you do have the greatest fleet," he said, still smiling. "However, I will ask you this. Can a nation exist without food, metals, minerals, and other such goods?" "What are you trying to tell me, you arrogant fool?" I demanded to know. I cannot tolerate this fool any longer. "Most of your economy is not owned by your government. Actually, almost none of it is," he said. "A large part of your agricultural industry is owned by Green Prospect, a company which is human, and operates under human laws." The ambassador smiled. That wasn't true. Most of the agriculture sector was owned by Grenketh. This idiotic bluff was not going to work. Lies. Most of that industry is owned by Grenketh. Your foolish intimidation attempts do not work on me. If it were owned by humanity, it would have been listed, liar. "Oh, but is it? Grenketh is a branch of Green Prospect, according to galactic law. If a company is a branch of a different company, the branch's HQ and primary species must be named, not that of the main company." The ambassador smugly replied, his face undeterred. "That is not the spirit of the law, ambassador, and you know it. Why would you do such a thing for anything but trying to sabotage someone's economy?" I furiously replied. "Why would you claim entire systems with anything but the purpose of conquering them? Even if that goes against the spirit of the law, ambassador." The last part was said with a distinct tone, almost mockingly. "That does not explain your outright exploitation of galactic law," I stated. The ambassador was getting on my nerves. They must have known our plans. "Call it what you wish, ambassador. We call it ensuring the security of our nation," he calmly stated, not intimidated in the slightest by my threats. "Is either your species' paranoia or evidence that you are clearly spying on us, human?" I yelled at the man. This was driving me mad. The human smiled and simply replied, "Sometimes paranoia is justified."